Purushaya Namaha. No ancient Indian scripture thinks on behalf of humanity. No scripture of the East claims to be omniscient. The scriptures humbly express themselves without anticipating humanity to accept them or follow them. The system of yoga, as propounded by Patanjali, is a collection of his own subjective experiences. His descriptions of the discipline of yoga are all-inclusive and conducive for understanding one's own self. It is a science to understand a plethora of human experiences. All experiences essentially aim at facilitating man to obtain freedom and become independent. Today, man's so-called freedom resembles a flag tied to its pole. You see him to be majestic, yet he is tied to a pole. The pole here is a representation of his conditionings, cravings, expectations and reflexes. In actuality, man relentlessly seeks pleasure like a frog half trapped in the mouth of a snake, sticking its tongue out to catch a prey. Man has a natural inclination towards instant gratification and impulsive behavior. He has confused this with absolute freedom. There is a thin line of dissimilarity between freedom and impulsive living. Yoga Sutras of sage Patanjali, one of the major sources of ancient wisdom, systematically provokes man to revisit his definition of freedom. Patanjali proclaims freedom as an ability to own a desire and not to be owned by a desire. The profoundness of the thought is such that any seeker of true freedom can strike a chord. A dog wagging its tail is a pleasant sight, but a tail wagging its dog is funny. Similarly, to own a desire is freedom and is a pleasant sight, whereas to be owned by a desire is slavery and a funny sight. Likewise, to own a situation is freedom, and to be owned by a situation is slavery. To own an emotion is freedom, and to be owned by an emotion is slavery. To own a taste is freedom, and to be owned by a taste is slavery. Patanjali explains the concept of freedom through his 8 limbs of yoga comprehensively. Out of the 8, the Yama and Niyama mainly focuses on culturing of the human emotions and lifestyle to make an individual's life more productive and thereby the society a better place to live in. Through the concept of asana, he suggests that individuals own the posture and not be owned by the posture, which is physical freedom. Through the concept of pranayama, he suggests the individuals own the vital force and not be owned by the vital force, which is vital freedom. Through the concept of pratyahara, he suggests the individuals own their desires and emotions, thereby develop emotional freedom. Through the concept of dharana, he suggests us to independently develop the ability to make choices and decisions that pave the way for the optimal growth of an individual. Through the concept of dhyana, he suggests that we be happy unconditionally because happiness is the goal of humanity. Happiness is a decision and not an enforcement or a superimposition. Thus, he covers all aspects of human existence, starting from the body to experiencing bliss.